Hello everyone, this is Godzilla Rock 73 with a toy review. Now, all the reviews from now will be re-uploaded reviews, because all the reviews that used to be on my channels were deleted. So yeah, I have to review all my figures back again. A fresh start. So, today, in our re-reviewing, we got the Bandai Creations Godzilla Millenium figure. Now, this figure you can purchase at most commonly Toys R Us or pharmacy stores. I heard, like pharmacy stores like CVS, if you got a CVS near your location. Okay, so I remember how I got this figure. There's actually like a funny story behind how I even knew Godzilla was in existence. And if it wasn't for me being at that store at the right time, at the right place, I wouldn't even know Godzilla would exist. I wouldn't even know there were Godzilla figures. Alright, so normally, well, I went to CVS because I remember, well, from what I remember, I had a big cut on my ankle. So Mom and I went there to buy healing alcohol, and then healing alcohol, bandages, and stuff like that. And then Mom and I hear a guard saying, "Hey," and then the guard is going after this little kid. And guys, this is a true story. Goes after the little kid, and I noticed that behind the kid's back, there was a big bump. There's like you could just clearly see even the shape of it, like the big bump. You could even, his shirt was even a little bit see-through. So he's a dumb kid. But believe it or not, well, these figures come in a box and they're tied on the feet. This kid tried to cut the strings off the feet and hide the figure behind the shirt and sneak out of the store with his mom. And occasionally the guards caught him, and the guard pulls out something from the kid's shirt, and it's this. And I'm like, what the hell? Is that like a dinosaur toy? And I was like, oh, I understand. Every kid steals once in his lifetime from a store. And then it was just a funny thing, so I just kept on looking, and then I see that the guard takes the kid and his mother to the counter, and the guard puts this toy back on the shelf, and I saw on that shelf other things that looked nearly like this. There was other toys like the 1968 toy of Godzilla, Hedorah, Destroyer, and all that. And I was like, wow, these look cool. I should pick one up. And then I decided, alright, I'll pick this one up, which is Godzilla Millenium. So this was my first ever Godzilla figure. This figure, it's not my favorite, but it started my hobby of collecting Godzilla figures. Now, of course, since the kid cut the, I don't know if you call it twisty ties or something, I don't remember, twisty tie-ish things on the feet, and steal it, I just had to bring the box and the toy to the counter, have the lady go like boop boop whatever on the box, and then I don't remember, it was like $12 or something. So yeah, that's pretty much how I found out there were Godzilla figures, and that's how I found this figure, because a kid tried to steal it from a store. So, which I think makes this figure special for me. Anyways, enough story telling about how I got this figure and how I started my Godzilla collecting hobby for 4 minutes. I'm sorry about that, but I just had to tell that's a good story. Now let's get into the actual review. Let's start with the detail of this figure, which was one of the things that really tied me up to this at first. The detailing on this is incredible. I mean, just look at that. This is just amazing. Like, all the skin bumps are accurate from the movie. Look at that. All the skin bumps, all the wrinkles, yeah, just the detail on this thing is just perfect. Now, detail, that it's just like, I'd give detail a 5 out of 5 because it's just so awesome. Like, they didn't miss a spot. Well, besides the bottom of the feet, but that's understandable. Like right here, but that's understandable. So yeah, detailing on this figure is just absolutely incredible. Now, let's get into the articulation. The articulation on this figure is, just not that good, but just a typical, I wouldn't say it's even the typical Godzilla articulation. Normally it has 4, and that is, the arms go back and forth, both of them. And the legs, I don't know if they can go 360. This one can. This one, I don't. The hands get in the way, but you don't have. There's no reason to turn them 360 degrees. That's pretty much all for the articulation originally. However, there's a glue seal on the tail. As you can see, there's a glue seal, and if you break it like I did, you get a 5th articulation on the tail. But be careful when you're breaking it, because if you pull too hard, and if yours is loose, the tail could easily pop off. But don't cry. It's not a big deal if the tail pops off. If the tail pops off, you just gotta squish it back in there. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, if you can't do it, maybe have your parents do it for you. It's not a big deal. It's not even that hard. You should be able to do it. It's just, you just gotta get the right shape, and you just gotta get the right shape and then plug it back in. It's not a big deal. So yeah, if you break the glue seal, that's a 5th articulation. So yeah, now the paint job the paint job on the spines is what attracted me to this figure. Before I found out that there were a lot more Japanese figures. When I first saw Godzilla figures ever, this is why I picked this one up, because of the spines, because it looked so cool. Like, spines are nice and long, very sharp, movie accurate. However, the one thing that isn't movie accurate is his head, but it's close enough. Like, I wouldn't say it's that accurate. Close enough though. It's got a really nice face with a nice pink tongue, sharp teeth. Now, there's one thing that bugs me about this figure, however, and that's the tail, because this thing comes in a box, and Bandai Creation, I guess they wanted it to fit in the box, but I don't know, maybe they should have just had the tail extend out of the box and make it longer, but I don't know, I mean, it looks cool from the back, so I don't complain about it a lot. It's just a little bug about it, that's all. I mean, it does look a little short, but that's because it's curved. I mean, it could look pretty cool in some poses, so I don't really mind. And another thing that I think they could have done better is on the right foot. The right foot, if you notice, it's like that, so this part of the feet has to be touching the ground for it to stand in a proper position. If you go like this, so that it makes stand still, it just looks off. It just looks really weird. And because the right foot goes all the way to the back, the balancing could be a little weak, as you can see. But it's not a big deal. You just got to match up the feet on the ground well, and it won't be a problem. Overall, this isn't a bad toy. I actually give this guy a 4 out of 5 because, well, I mean, this is my first Godzilla figure, and I can't argue with it. It's not a bad figure. I just think they could have done a little better with some areas, but that's really not to complain with. It's still a very awesome looking figure. If you see it, I'd say pick it up. If you're a Godzilla fan, I'd say pick it up if you see it. So yeah, that's all for my review. thanks for watching my review, and I'll be re-uploading all my other reviews.